The company doesn't have the proper database management system. The company have a quite difficulty or a bit slow in updating sale and products due to the manual way. The employee and staff also had to go through a bunch of data, files or even papers to find or look out for a particular documents to get the sales information. When the staff jot down or key in the sales data or the product's details, some of them tend to make some mistakes or errors. So, due to that, our team want to develop a database management system for IV Bookstore. With developing the database management system, we really hope that we can help IV Bookstore to smooth the process of business and make the business stay organized and keep the data and information easily accessible to all the systems user in the company. The system also enable at once go through the previous records, so it will make the company easily to calculate the data and compare the business records. The system also can decrease the level of error. So let's see how our team members develop the database management system for IV Bookstore.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Faizati Akmal bin Muhammad Najri, and I'm here with my group mates. We represent the IV Bookstore database system. First of all, to enter this database system, the user need to sign in their ID for use this database system. And after the sign in, the user will be presented with the homepage, which where the information about the IV store will be displayed. Then we go to the list menu. This menu is about the list of data that has been in the database system. First of all, the data of this list is the list of customer. In this list of the customer, the data that will be in this table is first the unit ID, of course, the customer ID, the customer first name, customer last name, customer date of birth, customer state, customer city, customer postcode, customer country, customer phone number, and customer email. The second list of the system is the list of author root, where the data will be author ID, author first name, author last name, author phone number, and author email. Third is the list of supplier book, where the data will be supplier ID, supplier company name, supplier state, supplier postcode, supplier country, supplier phone number, and supplier email. Fourth is the list of book, and the data will be book ISBN, book title, book genre, price of book, and in this table, the author ID and supplier ID will be read as foreign key, where these two unit ID will be referenced into the author and supplier table. Fifth of the list is the list of staff, where the information about them is staff ID, staff first name, staff last name, staff date of birth, staff phone number, staff state, staff city, staff country, and staff email. Last but not least is the list of transaction. In this list of transaction, the unit ID of transaction and the data of quantity of food that customer bought will be displayed. In this table, the ISBN of book that customer bought will be added as foreign key in this table. And the customer ID also will be referenced for this transaction, because this unit ID also add as foreign key in this table. Last is the foreign key of staff ID, where it also need to be referenced to know which staff handle this transaction.
Hi, I am Amnish Mimi, and let's move to the next part, which is register. So basically, register have a 4 option, which is add customer, add book, add supplier, and also add transaction. So first, let's go to the add customer option. Here, the form of customer information will be appear. For the first time customer, the staff need to fill in the information before they can start purchase. The username of customer, which is case ID in our database table, is the primary key. So, the customer need to choose a username which is unique and different from other customer. After finish, fill in the needed requirement. The user can start create the information of the customer. Okay, after the customer information has been created, this table will be appear. We can see a lot of information of customer that has been listed here. So it is important actually because, for example, when our bookstore want to organize an promotion event, so we can take the detail of our customer information such as phone number to inform them about the promotion event. Okay, the second one, the add supplier option. Okay, so here we can see the supplier information form. Same like the previous one, the staff just need to key in all the information needed such as ID supplier, company name, state, postcode, country, phone number of company, and also email. Okay, after that key in the information, the staff just need to click the create button and all information will be saved. Okay, the third one, add book option. So here we can see the form of book information details. Just fill in all the blanks required and click the create button again. After that, the action will be processed and the details will be inserted into the book listing. All the book information that we have been created before will be saved here. Okay, here we come to the last option, which is the add transaction option. The customer that has been registered before can proceed to purchase all our product. The form that appear on the screen will be used by the staff that in charge to be cashier at our bookstore.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aisyah Hamizah binti Mahusin. So our system have 8 query and I want to show you the first one. The first one is total customer. It is show the total customer that buy the books from our bookstore. The query for the total customer is select count all as total customer from customer, and it shows the total customer. Second is query for book quantity bulk from each customer. It display the customer ID and the quantity books that they buy. For each customer, what are their book quantity that they buy. The query is select customer ID, sum book quantity as quantity book from transaction group by customer ID. The third is a page for book with supplier. So it display the supplier with book, supplier ID, supplier company name, book title and book price. So it is easily for the staff to know who's the supplier that supply the books. So the query is select supplier ID, supplier company name, book title, book price from supplier, natural join, book. So it is natural join. And then the fourth page is fiction book. If we want to know the fiction book, so we display book title, book price, and book genre. And it shows the query is select B title, B price, B genre from book where B genre equals to fiction.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nushavika Bahira. For the total price of book customer, this section will display the total price that the customer had paid for their books. So for the query, we use join on between customer and transaction table. It is also grouped by customer ID and ordered by total price. After that, for the book price after discount section, this section will display a new price after the discount. So for query, we use round function to make the discount. After that, we will look onto the book with auto section. This section is to display who wrote or write this book. So for the query, book table will join with the auto table. Lastly, we will look onto the customer handled by staff section. It is to display who was in charge for their customer. We use join on three table, which is tables customer, staff, and also transaction. And lastly, we will log out our system. I think that's all for our system. Thank you.
Our database system in ERD have 6 tables, including customer, author, book, supplier, staff, and transaction. There is one bridge called table transaction. Transaction was determined by customer, book, and staff. For example, in a situation like if a customer want to buy books from Ivy bookstore, they need to register first. They need to register first their information, that including customer ID, their first name, last name, date of birth, address, phone number, and email. After they register, they can buy our books, where they can state their username ID to the staff that to have the information of transaction. They need the information of customer, book, and staff. So the primary key is the customer, BISBN, and staff ID. Between author and books, author can write many books, but each book can be written by one author. And a supplier can supply many books, but a book can only supplied by one supplier. For the transaction, they need to state customer ID, book ISBN and staff ID, and also book quantity that customer have buy. So after the transaction, it can produce the total price for the customer that have buy. The transaction number can be used for any reference to the staff if they want to search something. In conclusion, database are very important for everything, especially in the purpose of the business. In this project, we learn a lot of practical things about database. We learn how to build a real database ourselves. Building a database application from scratch was a hard thing to do, but with help of our lecturer, we managed to write the whole application in Oracle. In the beginning, we didn't have too much Oracle experience, as mentioned during the forming of the teams. But after a few months, we have learned a lot about using Oracle and all about the teams. The theoretical lectures were of great use as background information about database and graphical user interface design. We tried to implement all of the information of the classroom lectures in the Ivy bookstore application. We realized there is still room for improvement and extension of the application with extra modules. As a group, we learned to divide the work according to everyone's skills. We learned what is it to work on the project this size and how to work as a team during this semester. By developing the database for the bookstore, they can have complete details regarding the book's instance information, publisher details, store details, customer details, and transaction details. The user can get the flexibility of managing the entire information of the store by using the database model. Thank you for watching this video.